Alright, let's do some math. Rational functions. We're just going to do a basic shifted, because that is pretty easy, and I don't think I'm going to have any troubles with that. So, what does a basic shifted look like? Kinda like this. So, what does this all tell you? How does that correlate to your graph? Which is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be graphing it. Alright, so this number out here, I might as well draw a graph while I'm talking about graphing. Alright. Yeah, it's not perfect, I know. But this is just our little makeshift standalone graph for, it doesn't have to be exactly precise. We know what points we're going to hit here. So, this number out here, what does this tell us? Well, this tells us where our horizontal asymptote's going to be. Or, yeah, horizontal because it goes sideways. It's kind of weird because it's the y, but... Alright, so that means the horizontal asymptote usually on these is at 0, 0. So it's this line right here. But we're going to be moving it up one, so it's going to be right around there. So I'm going to just draw a little line to show that that's where our new one's going to be. It's going to be going across that forever, you know. Now, what does this number down here tell us? Well, this tells us where our vertical asymptote is going to be. But don't think, oh, it's going to be +4, because math likes tricking you. They love tricking you. This is actually an inverse, so that's actually -4. So over here, it's going to be at -4. Why? Because it's supposed to be in like parentheses, so when you actually solve for it, it becomes negative because you have to like subtract from the side, and then boom, you have a -4. So our say our -4 is right here. So our asymptotes are relatively here. Yeah, I know it's not a straight line, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? And here. Now, the way I like to think about it, once you do basic shifted graphs, or any shifted graphs in general, as long as it doesn't have like a whole bunch of weird multiplication changes, is you can think of it as this is your new XY axis, because everything is going to be folding and going infinitely closer to this. So ignore the darker one for now, and this is our new XY axis. Boom. Okay, so if this is our new XY axis, let's plug in some points. Oh, I probably can do one of these things over here. Yeah. Alright, plug in some points. At 0, well, we know we can't divide by 0, so that's undefined. So we know we're not going to have anything there. So nothing at 0. I'm sorry. Sorry, 0. That's just how it is. Okay, at 1, what will our y be? Well, ignoring this stuff, like I said, this is our new xy. So if we have 1 over 1, our y is going to be a 1. So saying 1's right about here, 1 right about there. I'm sorry, there are cats. Thank you. Yep. No. Smokey, not now. Please. Okay. Anyways. So, if you put 1 over 2, when we plug in for 2 and x, you're going to get 1/2. So, 2 being right about here, you get 1/2. And then you're like, oh, I got 2 points. I can know that I have to be between this line and this line. I have 2 points to hit. And you have a curve. Congratulations. Look at that. Look at that masterpiece of a curve right there. Now this line is, they're never going to touch these or cross these, but they'll get infinitely closer, and that's why I'm putting a little bit of space. What else? Ah, yes. Let's do some negative numbers. Gotta get the 1 over on this side. So if we do a -1, you guessed it. You're going to get -1 on this side. So you go down here, that's about -1. Alright, when we do -2, and yes, you're going to get -1/2. So that's about there. And you're like, oh, look, I got the 2 points again. I got it between these 2 lines, and you gotta just do this and that, and bada bing, bada boom. You have your graph. And that is how you graph one of these suckers. You can do this little thing here. You can use my method of just making this an XY and ignoring these. That makes it pretty simple. So, yes, this is how you graph a basic rational function with shifting. Yeah.